Hey there, Riverika here, reporting for duty on a trigger. Thank you so much for shuffling states of emergency into adoption spirit magic with me and steering clear of danger. Heartily, we are grateful. In this session, we are exploring what Mars in Gemini squaring Neptune in Pisces and Sun conjunct Neptune in Pisces has to tell us about how to move forward in the highest love and light. But first, disclaimers. I'm not a doctor, lawyer, therapist. I'm a fortune teller, so what I offer is no substitute for their services. Furthermore, what I share does not determine your future, only your intentions and actions do. So please, use your gift of discernment before deciding what to gather and take away. And of course, take only what resonates and blow like a kiss the rest to the universe for cosmic composting back into beauty. And this reading is intended for fun and games, for shits and giggles, for entertainment, for flexing our heart, mind, body, soul, spirit, and intuition. And at the least, I hope to cause harm to none, and at the most, I hope I may assist you on your healing path. All that being said, allow me to introduce our helpers. I have lit candles for Source, Mother Earth, Father Sky, the neighbors, the passers-by, the homeless, those that kick them out of their homes, even those working against our spiritual progression. Also, harmony, unity, and balance, Archangel Azrael, our ancestors here in the highest love and light, and those who have crossed over to Father Sky by suicide, and the family and friends they left behind on Mother Earth, as well as the war-torn families, countries, nations, galaxies. And we thank Source for helping us all adopt success, transmuting these violent cycles into love. Heartily, we are grateful. And so it was. So it was, and so it was, and so it was. We also have here to help us in this session my mini crystal ball, my wooden wand, and my wooden dagger wand, and those help buoy our spirits and cut through to the heart of the matter without harming a soul. And we have the Kali Oracle by Alana Fairchild and illustrated by Jimmy Manton and published by Blue Angel Publishing. And the crystal that accompanies that in this session is the purple onyx. That's right, I said purple onyx. So special. So I invite you to look up the metaphysical properties of these different items that I'm sharing. The world map as well is another helper we have today that I forgot to mention. But check 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 27 different sites to see what resonates with you, because we are all different psychosocial science experiments, and what resonates with you may not resonate with me. And this reading is for you, right? So I enjoy inviting you to check out for yourself to see what resonates with you to make this reading more meaningful. And let's see. Oh yes, sage. We are clearing the space with sage in this session. So I invite you to help clear the space of obstructions and welcomes, interference, darkness, anything that may be getting in the way of the highest love and light, and streaming in grace to replace. And thank you for holding the intention of seeing love, and only love we shall see. Thank you so much. So, let's see what Mars in Gemini squaring Pluto in Pisces and the Sun conjunct Neptune in Pisces has to tell us about moving forward in our highest love and light, how we may be assisted in moving forward in our highest love and light. And these actions are taking place somewhere between the 12th and the 16th of March, but quadruple check me on that. 2023. All right, so here we go. You are a whole, full, loving, powerful, spiritual being, and so am I, and we thank your source, spirit team, angels, galaxy guides, ancestors, saints, sages, gods, goddesses, universes here in the highest love and light, as well as mine. And we thank your source and my source for immediately shifting the situation into what it needs to be, offering necessary insights, healings, acts of grace, protection. Heartily, we are grateful. So it was. So it was. So it was. So it was. Thank you for making this reading abundantly clear, the messages we need to receive to move forward with minding our business in the highest love and light. Thank you, Kali Ma, Source, Spirit Team. And Kali is one of the Romani goddesses, but she helps anybody who is looking for guidance, lost on their path, in need of assistance. And that's a beautiful, beautiful quality. And I also invite you to check out for yourself in your culture, your gods and goddesses, saints and sages, and seeing which ones resonate with you, so you may find more assistance there as well. Let's see what Kali has to share with us today. Kali Tantrika. Kali Tantrika. So this is the number 35. And you can see, wow, that's very intense. The number 35, 3 and 5 add up to 8. So there's a lot to talk about there with that numerology. And whatever we share today, I invite you to quadruple check for yourself, your own resources. Of course, 4, 5, 6, 7, 27 different resources. But off of Cindy Dale's work, the number 3 establishes healthy boundaries, especially for those who are susceptible to psychic or environmental invasion. So that 3 is super special. It also reflects optimism. It's the number of creation. And it brings a beginning and an end together. And it ends chaos, which sort of appears to be doing in that picture. And the number 5 keeps us from taking on everyone else's issues and thus becoming overburdened, which so often happens with the orphan and adoptee who are put in this position where, in a way, we're expected to heal our parents' loss, to take that off their shoulders. And that's not just exclusive to the orphan and adoptee now, is it? Right? So this is relevant for so many of us, but take it as it resonates. And this number 5, it also promotes and progresses. It provides the ability to go any direction it will, kind of like a hummingbird. And it also creates a space for decision making, so that is super helpful. So all of that can assist us in moving forward in our highest love and light. And that 3 and 5 add up to an 8, and that 8 is the symbol of power and infinity. And it can be used to erase old and entrenched patterns or syndromes. And it also establishes recurring patterns and illuminates karma, right? That makes sense. So it helps us end those patterns that we're done with. Like perhaps we've realized, you know what? That guilt and shame that I've been using to try to motivate and educate people, it's not working so well. It's not working so effectively. Let me clarify that word well. And I want to release that. And the number 8 can help us do that, may help us do that. And all the different ways you can use the numerology to help you. You can visualize it, you can put it in a song, you can make art out of it, you can see it over your space or over your home or your body. There's so many different ways. So I invite you to play with that, to help you play through your losses and traumas, to live life worth living, right? This number 8, it also breaks or erases cycles or relationships that hold us hostage or keeps us bound by unhealthy patterns, which is so relevant to so many orphans and adoptees we've been hearing speaking up, especially in the current events recently with some adoptees who have more of a platform to share. And so that number 8 helps us release those unhealthy relationships. And I'm sending you big hugs because I know how challenging that is, and all the heartache and pain and how complicated it can be and has been. And you've been so brave to own your truths, to stand up for yourself, to dismantle those adoption fairy tales, to dismantle the gypsy myths, and to rebuild a new earth on reality. And thank you so much for being so dedicated and committed to just being yourself, your highest, in the highest love and light. That really makes a humongous difference, you know, first of all for yourself, right? So thank you for taking such sweet care of yourself. So this Kalika Tantrika, this has 3 parts to it, so I invite you to settle in, and you may come back and review certain parts or repeat the prayers 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 times to help activate and embody them, or perhaps you choose to journal about some of this. But just letting you know that there's some wonderfulness to dive into here. We're going to go deep. So this is split into 3 parts: an introduction prayer, an explanation, and then an ending invocation ritual. So here is the first piece. Our wild mother goddess overcomes duality, resting in the sweet spot of integration, healing, and creativity. She facilitates the overcoming of tension and conflict, birthing sacred solutions and evolution into greater bliss. Kalika Tantrika is Kali, the tantric queen. She overcomes all karma, realigns pathways when we have veered off course, reverses the momentum of negative uses of free will, and detaches draining energy cords, restoring us to full vitality. Her presence announces significant change and positive improvement in all aspects of your life, especially your spiritual life. Wow, that's so deep and so relevant, again, especially for the orphan and adoptee who've had these draining cords attached to them and energy sucked away. And it wasn't malicious, it was just more grief struck by loss, possessed by grief. Those parents just needing, in that moment, some miracle. And we're learning more and more that it doesn't work that way, that adoption doesn't work that way. And people are making reforms and dismantling that old way of life and rebuilding. And the next part says much. So again, I invite you to settle in. The Tantra of Kali is the teaching of the eminence of the goddess. Her appearance in a reading indicates a time when the feminine principle must be in the dominant position. This is not a declaration that the feminine is superior. It is equal to the masculine, yet different. It is a recognition that the feminine is holding and birthing energy. To shift from one way, paradigm, or political structure, the feminine must lead. As Kali, she disrupts negative power structures and holds the space for something completely new to emerge from the rubble. The simplest way to describe the eminence of the goddess is that it's the deep respect for intuitive knowing and action taken on the non-rational yet deeply insightful instincts of the heart. This is not about being emotionally reactive. There are multiple expressions of the sacred tantric inversion, placing the sacred feminine in the leadership position and deconstructing patriarchy. We practice it when listening to our intuition with complete courage, rather than going against our inner knowing for the sake of logic. Another is reversing the flow of what has been generated. This may mean halting a path you wanted to travel, but have now come to realize it is not honoring all of your heart. It could be a breaking down of what has been established because it has become too restrictive and needs to be rebuilt in a new way, or perhaps released altogether. Remember, that which appealed to the caterpillar is not going to tempt the butterfly. As the soul evolves, our needs and desires often undergo a profound transformation too. Tantric teachings resonate less with clean, tidy, and methodical approaches, and more with wild, spontaneous, shamanic energies innately tuned to and responsive to life. The primal force of the feminine is moving you along your soul journey at present. To tune into that primal power requires loosening the mental grip over your life. Allow for more space, more flexibility. If your schedule is so tightly wound that every minute is accounted for, set the intention to slacken the reins. The feminine needs freedom. She cannot be crammed into minimal spaces or expected to thrive. She cannot be crammed into minimal spaces and expected to thrive. If you try to control her, she will rebel, and when she is Kali, her rebellions topple kingdoms. It is possible to heal and transform, even radically, without evoking her wrathful nature, if you are open to her guiding presence. Her wrath is love, so we need not fear it. But it can certainly be a welcome change of pace for powerful shifts to be able to happen with grace and ease. When Kali Tantrika arises in your reading, you are encouraged to listen to your gut and allow for wisdom to emerge. Act according to instinct and let go of methods that do not resonate with your heart, even if your mind tells you that not following those methods will lead to failure. The Tantra of Kali is to practice the unconditional trust in the feminine. Her ways are unpredictable, apparently ever-changing, and when she manifests as Kali, if you try to pin her down and control her, she's likely to lop off the offending appendage. Instead, we submit to her, entering into the black void of possibilities and not knowing, with the realization that even when we don't know what is going on, the divine feminine does. If we willingly open to her sacred knowledge, rather than try to impose our will and logic and desire upon her, she will show us what is going to work best. This is a time when the heart knowing must lead above the intellectual assessment of things. It is also when we are best moved by a greater guiding intelligence, rather than doggedly sticking to a plan and trying to assert ourselves. The feminine is not as direct in her approach as the masculine. Her seeds germinate in darkness. Her creative methods are not always seen, yet are powerful. The oracle brings encouragement that even though it seems like your will is being thwarted, or you are not getting what you want right now, or you just wish you could have more clarity and know your direction, you are still making progress. Things are coming together in the best way, and something is growing that is aligned with the divine plan you were born to fulfill. You are encouraged to restore your inner energies and move when you feel inspired, rather than thrusting forward in attempts to make progress. The goddess knows what she's doing. Her actions will benefit you and all beings profoundly. Allow her to have her way. Wow, thank you, Callie. That is reminding me how much we have done in the past 3 years and switching gears into this place of the feminine, the divine feminine, and also the dismantling that's been happening to open up to a more peaceful, joyful, heartfelt, compassionate, forgiving, understanding way of life, from top to bottom and bottom to top. And so this is really timely with everything we've gone through, and then we're digging in even more with what's happening currently and in the future, and just really owning that. Thank you so much, Callie, for sharing that. So now there's an invocation ritual. Read the instructions, and then there's a prayer, and then there's a conclusion. Invocation ritual. Place your hands at your lower belly. Sense the energies that stir and swirl into life when you place your loving, non-judging attention beneath your hands. Allow your awareness to move deeply beneath your hands, as if you are moving into a vast, oceanic realm of feminine being within your body, no matter what your biology or gender may be. You can settle and meditate within this feminine presence. Perhaps that presence is gentle ocean waves rising and falling in a rhythmic lullaby, or a raging storm with flashes of lightning and shuddering thunder. Be with what is. Sense the grounding as your mental energies begin to descend into the belly and gather there, returning to the primordial and restorative ocean of consciousness deep within the sacral chakra. Say the following prayer. Jai Ma Kali, I drop into the realm of deep wisdom located in the belly. I feel for your guidance, for the innate pattern of intelligent spiritual becoming that exists within my soul and knows how to manifest itself to fulfillment for the benefit of all beings. I open to your blessings. I let go of that which I have held on to more than I have trusted in you. Jai Ma Kali. Now here's the conclusion. Allow any residual tension or stress to melt away. Be in the quiet bliss of peaceful, authentic, inner divine communion. Place your hands in prayer. You have completed your ritual. That's intense. Thank you so much, Callie. Thank you, Source. Thank you, Mars and Gemini squaring Neptune in Pisces, and the Sun conjunct Neptune in Pisces, for guiding us in this reading and helping us understand how we may move forward, minding our business in the highest love and light, and for reminding us that we want to help benefit all human beings, not just the ones who seem to manage to behave and look a certain way, right? We want to be able to help everybody, and maybe it's not your job to help everybody. Maybe you just need to help yourself. Maybe there's just a sphere of people that you allow yourself to help, and other people help others, the others, right? But we're reminded that we're here to help everybody. We want everybody to adopt success, not just the select few who manage to behave. So that is all I am seeing for you in this reading. Thank you so much for helping breathe life into adoption spirit magic. Heartily, we are grateful. Until next time, ciao for now. I love you all.